Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Morenike and I'm a product designer. If you are new here, you're welcome, welcome, welcome. And if you are not new here, you're welcome back. I'm so happy that you're here again. Today I will be replicating a design. So one of the ways I used to practice my UI skill is to design a design that already exists, right? So I saw this website and I thought it looked good. So I want to replicate it and video myself doing that so I can share with you how I go about designing when I want to. Yeah, so stick with me to the end of the video to see how I'm going to replicate this design. So I have my Figma file opened and I want to bring in the design so I can look at it side by side while designing. So there's this Figma plugin that not Figma plugin, sorry, Chrome plugin that I use to screenshot a page and it's called Go Full Page. So I'll just click on that and then it captures the whole page. So now that it's done, I will copy image and paste it on my Figma file. Right. Oops, it's here, but my picture is showing side by side. Oh wow. All right, I'm going to copy the image again and remove my my picture, so you can see it clearly without these pictures and this tag, right? All right, I've done that. All right, I've done that, and here is the image. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is to create a frame. So without creating a frame, you can't design. For example, I can't just design using this. I can't design on this rectangle. I have to use a frame to design. So this is where I'll get my frame from. And I'm going to use MacBook Pro 16 to design. So when I'm prototyping, you're going to see like the full screen because 14 is quite smaller than my screen. Yeah, so we are starting with this, right? So I'm just going to rename this um, frame to what's the name of the application? I think the name of the application is name of the website is Cream, CREME. Then replicate design. Right. So how do I get this color? Two ways. I can either use my pick tool here, color picker tool, and select the color. Boom, I have the color already. Or so there's this Chrome plugin also that is called CSS Pipe, whatever. You when you use it, you can just see the elements that was used on the design. You can see the color that was used. You can see the font that was used and everything. So to get the color that was used on this, I'll just click on this and then I can see that the color that was used for this background, I selected the background and then this came out F5F4ED. So I'll copy that and paste. Yeah, we have the color. So what I like to do before I start designing is to create my grid system so that my designs are aligned. If you check this design, you will see that the logo here, the image here, the text here, the box here, and everything is aligned. So I'm going to create my grid system so that when I'm designing, I'm not just using my eyes to place things there. I'm going to follow the grid system, and I'm going to be using 4 point system. You can browse online about 4 point system to learn more about that. Four grid system. So this we have one here, just like multiples of four. I don't want to start calculating it from fresh, so I'm just going to copy this image and paste it here. So one way to do it, if you're using 4 point system, is just like 4 plus 4, 8, 8 plus 4, 12, 12 plus 4, 16, 16 plus 4, 20, like that. And if you're using 8 point system, it's 8, 8 plus 8, then your answer plus 8 plus 8. That's how you get it. Right. So I'm going to be using this. I'm meant to still add to this 64 plus 64 plus 8. I'm going to add to this and then add that. All right, so I've added more to this. I wanted it to get to 120 in case I need it and I don't have to like start cracking my head when I need it. So I added from this is 44 plus 8, 72, 72 plus 8, 80, just like that. I'm going to start creating my grid system now, and I can use that Chrome extension I showed you earlier to check margins and paddings around my design. If you check here, I hope you can see this. You will see that this padding is showing 188 and the margin around is showing 15. So I can just now I have an idea of the how many margin or padding I need to use around. It doesn't have to be exact, but I just have an idea around it. So I'm going to use that to create my own here. So I click on grid, change it to columns, and I want to use 12. And I'm not just using 12 because I feel like using 12. Well, it's part of my grid system, point system I'm using. That's why 12. Right. So I want the margin to be 120. So I'll type in 120. I think this 120 is too small actually. Let me add 40 to it to see how it looks. Okay, I think I can walk around 160 margin. Then the gutter, I'll make the gutter 40, and I'm using 40 because it's still part of our grid system. Yeah, right. So gutter will be 40. Cool. Now we have our grid system and we can start designing. So what I want to work on first to be this top navigation, and we have our logo and this text landing logo illustrations on this button. So I'm going to bring in the logo from the website. I'm just going to go and copy the logo. So I've gotten the logo and I'm going to paste it here. Then I just want to write out landing's logo and illustration. So with this plugin, you can get the name of the font that was used. Yeah, vanilla font was used. Yeah, chocolate font was used. Vanilla, yeah. But I do not have that font. I already checked it out and I don't download it yet. So I'm just going to look for a similar font that looks like that. And for the vanilla font, I'm going to use Lato. That's less body text. For my body text, I'm going to use Lato font. So I'm going to search for Lato here. Then for my heading text, I'm going to use Ubuntu. So I'm going to search for that here. Right. Just going to leave this as bold here. Yeah, so this is text I'll be using now throughout. I've created text design system and color design system, but I'm just going to do that while I'm creating this. So what I want to do now is to write out landings, logos, and illustration using laptop. So I'll just copy this and just write it out. Landings, logo, and illustrations. So something I can do is to put this text in auto layout. They are they are properly aligned. I also want to adjust this text to, I think this font that they use here is 24. So I'm just going to, so you can check the font size that they use when you're replating design to using that extension I showed you. Right. I'm going to align this. Let me just use, I'm actually really not focusing too much on using line heights, letter spacing, and all. All these things matter, true, but I'm really not focusing on using that here. I want to put these three texts in auto layouts, add auto layouts, right, and space them. So I can use space between just so they are properly aligned. Then I want to create this button so I can properly place all these elements. And this is how the button looks like. So I'm going to, normally when I want to create my button, I usually use a frame to create my button, but because of the way this button is looking like, I'm going to go ahead to use a rectangle and then group everything inside a frame. I'm not sure of the size of this button, so I'll just run to the website and use the CS paper to get the size of the button. So it has a width of 172 and a height of 44. Height of 44. I want to stick with my grid system now, so I'm not going to use height of 44. I'm just going to change it to a height of 48 and a width of and a width of, let's use 172 like that. Let's use 180. Then if you see the radius, the corner of this box, you see that it's curved. So I'm going to change the radius here to, corner radius here to 100. Oops, what did I do? Not 10, 100. So now we have that curved feeling. So it's showing correctly that the fill color is the same color of our background and then has like a black stroke. So I'm going to change the fill color to color of our background and give it a stroke of black. But I don't want to use 000 as my black, so I'm just going to use 22222. You can also take the color in that CSS paper if you want to replicate designs. Right, so I am going to duplicate this for our pink background. Remove the stroke and change the color to pink. I'm just going to use my tool picker here. So currently it's in front, so I'm going to just, I can just select this and select send to back, or I can come to our layers panel here and drag it under our first frame, right? So our button is coming together. Then I'm going to adjust it. Not just any adjusting. I'm going to check the space between the first and second. See it's on 7 7. I think I was making 4 4. 4 4. Awesome. Looking good. So I'm going to put in our text. Just going to copy one from here and put it here. I think this text size is too big. Going to change it to Let's say 16. Oh, 16 looks too small. Let's use 18. Then I'm going to place the text in the middle. You can do this by selecting both and using this align, right? So that's what I just did. So I'm going to select everything here now and put it in a frame selection. Yep, so we have that now, and it's going to be somewhere here. So if you look at this text, you see it showing bigger project, and the text is quite bold. So I'm going to change our text here to bigger projects and make the text bold. So this is one reason why you should always use auto layouts and set constraints. Because if I had done that, I don't know how to start setting my text to the center. Let me just quickly show you an example. If I want to create a button, I I write my text, sorry. I just write my text, bigger project. Then I create auto layout around it, add auto layout. So this is it. Then I can adjust and say I want the margin and the spacing around. See it showing 10 10. I want it to probably show 16 year and 16 year fixed. Then I'll add a color, background color. Let me just use pink so you see it clearly. This is a button. So now let's say I need to make the text longer. I don't have to start putting this in the center. Whatever I type, it's it's fixed in the button, right? Unlike this one that when I typed, then I had to start like placing it. So I was just doing fast way to the solution. Yeah. So that's done. Now we want to bring in our logo inside. This logo is looking quite bigger than what we have here. So I am going to I'm going to reduce the size. Let me see how 40 looks. 40 looks too small. Let me see how 56 looks. I think 56 is manageable. So I'm going to select every element here and put everything in a frame selection. Then I'm going to add layouts and use the spacing mode space between. Then I want to make this frame height. Okay, the height of the frame is okay. But I just want to adjust. If you see it's not starting on our grid here and it's not ending in our grid here. So I'm going to adjust that so everything is just aligned. Perfect. Perfect. Everything's in the center now and it's good to go. I want to remove the layout around this to see if this text we have here is in the center. It was not in the center. And that is the reason behind that is because the size of this they are not equal, so it's not giving me the space between. I need this and this, but I need this to be in the center. Also, I think the spacing we have between this text is quite a lot, so let me see the space I can use. Removing this from auto layout, I want to see the spacing I can use. Let me use 64. I'm getting this spacing from my point system here. I'll add my layer back and this space between just so it's properly aligned. I also want to change this text to semi bold. Right. So now I want to check the spacing I have here and it's on 40. I think that's good to go. We can start with this. Oops, I want to change the color of this. I don't like using pure black, so I'll change this to great. So next is to do this design that we have at the back. You can see this circle, tinted circle here, and this like pinkish background. So I'm going to create circles and do that. So I'm going to start by creating this smallest circle and let me see what size I can use. This is quite too big. Okay, let me use this 120 that we have here. Okay, I think we can start with this. We can start with this. So I'm going to remove this fill and add a stroke around it. Let me just use our 2. So to create these others, I'm just going to add like 100 to this 120 plus 100 plus 100 plus 100 plus 100 plus 100. How many do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm going to duplicate. To duplicate for Mac, I'm holding Option and I'm dragging, but you can select and just copy and paste. Duplicate, sorry, you can use Command D to duplicate. Right. So I'm going to just add 100 to this by doing plus 100, and we have that. So I'm going to place this by the center. I can just select both of them and do this align vertical and align horizontal. So I'm going to select the next larger one and drag up, Command D, duplicate, add 100 plus 100. I'm going to do it till I get to the eighth line because we have eight plus 100 plus 100 plus 100. Oops, seems this I didn't duplicate it properly. Plus 100. All right. How many do we have now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have two more to go. Wow. Plus 100. All right. We have one more to go. Plus 100. Oops. All right. So I'm just going to select everything to make sure it's properly aligned. So I'm going to use align horizontal centers first and align vertical centers second. Great. Then I'm going to group everything together. Select and group selection. Awesome. So if you see, you see that the lines are quite faded. So I'm going to reduce the opacity of this and place it properly. We have it here. I'll send it back. Send it back. We have it like this. Let me put it in the center. Then reduce the opacity to, let me check, 10. Hmm. Let me remove this grid so you can see what we have currently. Okay. I think the lines are still showing, but let's proceed. So I think the lines are still showing bold, but let's reduce it to 8. Since we're using 4.6 and 10 is not there, it's 8 that is there. So I'm just going to leave it at 8. Right. So next we have this pink blurry background. So I'm going to just draw a circle perfect circle, holding down shifts and drawing. Then it's pink, right? So I'm going to, normally if you have a design system, I'm just going to select this and pick on the color. But we don't have for this project, so I'm going to pick this our pink color, right? So now I'm going to add effect, and the effect is layer blur and make it 100. Yeah, so you see that it's still showing quite a lot. So I'm going to reduce the opacity. But first, I think I want to put it inside these line frames that we created. So it just stays in. Right. Okay, so why it's reduced in immediately is because the I reduce the opacity of this whole group and not the lines individually. So putting the circle inside the group did that. I'm going to remove it back and add my opacity outside of it. It's so out. Just going to try. I think using 16 is great. Using 16 is great. It's great. So I'm going to place it properly. Seems I might have to reduce this thing a bit. I'm going to cheat here. I'm going to cheat here and use 10. So we have that feeling. 12. Okay, I think I'm going to stick with 12. I do not want it to look. Then I'm going to reduce it. I think it's looking quite big. Right. I think it's perfect. Yeah. See what we have in the design and see what we have. Great. So let me just group everything together so it doesn't move about. Group selection, and I'm going to lock it down so it doesn't move when I'm designing. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So next we're having this our main heading, one stop design shop, and I'll be using this font Ubuntu. One stop design shop. One stop design shop. Oh, design shop. Right, I'm going to use the font 64. So why having this point system is very good. I don't have to start guessing the font size I need to use next. If I had a text design text system, that would be better. I'll just use the system I already created. But I don't have that currently. So I'm just using this 4 point system for my spacing numbers and text numbers, right? So yeah, it's on board and I'm just going to place that in the center. And let me see the spacing I can use 120. I think 120 is too up. Let me add 24. All right, I think we can work with this. We can work with this. So next we have this text. Need quick help. Say no more. We execute the idea just as like type it out. Oops, so see the font that's coming out. I need to change this font. But let me quickly type out text out. Who execute the idea and just as. So I'm changing this text to body text. That's Lato. LATO. And I'm going to change the font to 24 and also the weight the weight to, I think regular is great. But this text is looking a lot much bolder. So I'll just put it as medium and change the color to 2. Design system is good. I don't have to start typing out the color. I'll just come here and select the color I want to use. So I'm going to place this in the center and add the appropriate spacing. I think 16 is great. So now I want to create this. If we had a design system, we'll have just picked our button that we've created. But all good and well, I'm just going to copy this to save time. You already know I created this, right? So I'm just going to, I think this looks, the width looks higher than this button. So I'm just going to make this a little longer. It's currently on 48. I'm going to take it to 56. I'm going to select both of them and take the height to 56. Right. Then I'm going to change our text here to get it done. We have, okay, great. So I'm going to place it in the center. Proper. So I'm going to check. Okay, sitting pretty. So for this, the main color is pink and the background shadow, what it is, that's black. So I'm going to select this and change it to pink. I think we have it here already. Oops. Select this. Change it. Why? Select this and change it to pink and change this to our two. Great. So I hope everything is in the same. I want to go. Okay, this text is looking quite smaller, so I'm going to use the font 20 for this. Place it properly, then select everything together. Attention to details, guys. Attention to details. All right, so I'm going to put the proper spacing between the text and the button, and that would be, let's try 32 to see how it looks. Great, awesome. We're making progress, right? So next, we want to get these three stuffs done, and I'm going to do a little cheat. So since this website already has this image, instead of creating everything one by one, I'm going to bring in these three images. But first, I'm going to really need my grid system for this so I can place the images properly. Then I'll go to the design, copy this image, copy image. I'm going to place the image here. One, one. I'm here to copy the second image. Two. How am I copying the image? I'm just selecting, double tapping, then use copy image and select and paste it. Awesome. So I'm going to select the two together and just reduce it. The three together and just reduce it because I think it's quite big. Right. Then I'm going to place it inside the design. So now why I turned on this grid system earlier is so that I can place these images and three of them is going to be equal, just like we have it here. I mean, they're going to take the same width size. So for this 12, we're going to have 4, 4, 4. That's 12, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. So I'm just going to place this and reduce it to that 4. That gives us the width of 433. So I can just select the remaining two and put the width to 433. Awesome. So when I drop this here, you will see that it takes okay, something's happening. 443. Okay, it's 443. I did 433. 443. Awesome. Great. Okay, so I'm going to place this right and place this properly. All right, so you see that this image has this text stuff here. Oh, I think that is a text and not an image. So I have to create this myself. But I think I can still get this image. So I'm just going to go to the website. So you can actually create this yourself from scratch. I'm just trying to speed the whole process of this design. So I'll copy that and place that here. Then I want to put in this text cream ink is here to provide you with. So the text we're using is Lato, like you know, that's selected already. Just introduce it to medium and put in our text. Then I'm going to place this here and adjust the text properly. I'm also going to adjust the size of this. Awesome. Great. Great. I'm going to adjust the line height. Sorry, I cannot even this. I'm going to adjust the line height because yeah, okay, I've done that already. Then I'm going to place this here and reduce this a bit. Yeah, so I'm going to place this at the center because this star illustration is at the center. Then we have this line under. So I'm going to create that line before I group everything together. Our width is 443, right? So that will be the length of the line 443. I think I'm going to increase the line width to that. Yeah, then I'm going to adjust my normal spacing. You can see it's on 16 and just select everything. Okay, let me check the spacing of this. From here to here is start at 42. Oops. Just going to place this properly. Okay, let's see how it is. Okay, start at the edge here, right? So that's only 160. Then put the normal spacing. Let me try 40. Awesome. I'm going to group everything together and make sure the spacing let's use 24. Okay, so we have that for this. Let me just bring out this outside because I don't want to increase the length of this frame just yet. Just yet. I thought I framed this together. Alright, so I'm going to pull this out. So you see that we also have this C option and subscribe under this. So I'm going to just quickly do that. See options and subscribe. First, I'm going to draw a frame and make it same size of this. Yes. I'm not really concerned about the height now. I'm going to use part of our system. We have it on step. Let's use 80 height. Change the background to the darker background and add our text. See options and subscribe. But I'm still using laptop for this. Adjust the text to 24. It's a medium already. And adjust this. Okay. I think I'm just going to adjust the text to 20. Great, great, great. Then we have this arrow that's it's here. So I'm going to use a plugin called Feather Icons to bring this out. Let me still adjust the spacing to 24. All right, so our icon for that arrow icon that's there. Okay, so this is it. I'm just going to select it and it's going to come on here. Now I'm going to change the color to white because it's so white. I think it's quite small, so I'm going to change the size to 32. So since the spacing we have here is 24, I'm going to make sure the spacing we have here is 24 too. Great, great. So we have this ready now. So the design has sharp edges, so we don't have to bother about that. So I'm just going to check the space between this and this and make it 24. Group selection together. So I'm going to select these three now and put all of them in a frame and use auto layout. Then I'm going to put all of them in the center. I'm going to remove my auto layouts because again, after putting this at the center, because when you check this design, you will see that this third image is coming down a bit, and using auto layout here won't solve that. So after getting the center of this auto layout, I'm going to remove the auto layout and select this and bring it down a bit. Let me see how it's split here. Okay, after the C options a bit. Awesome. Frame everything again and bring it in our design. So I want to show you the main design to see where this is placed. So on the design, you see that these three images on your this is called Euro section. So on your Euro section, you see where these images stop, and you see that the images did not extend to the next frame until you scroll down. That's why I'm not extending my frame just yet, so I can get this. So I'm going to pull this down here. So this is how it is. So that means the spacing that we have here around this section is just too much. So I'm going to adjust everything again. All right. All right. All right. I think we can work with this. Let's check what we have so far on prototype. But before we get that, let me increase this to black. Okay, let's check what we have so far on our prototype. Loading. Wow. I want to remove this frame, this laptop frame, so we can just see it on a full screen. So I'll go to prototype. The device will be none. So let's go back and select full screen. see the design. I think I need to reduce the width of these landings logo and illustrations a bit. But this is our design. Okay, what I'm noticing again now is that this our image came down too much, as you see that it's meant to show something like this based on the frame size that we're using. So, and this is the original website. Can you see that we are making progress? So, yeah, what I'm noticing again now is that the font size that we use for landing's logo and illustration is quite too big. So, I'm going to adjust that too. I didn't check that the font size that was used, so I didn't use the appropriate font size. Going to adjust that to 20. Awesome. Okay, so I want to take this up a bit. Check it again. So I think it's because we are not using the same size of image. I'm just going to leave it like this so we can move to the next section. I'm making good progress. Great progress. So the next section of the design is how it works. And to proceed, instead of me just extending the frame like this, I want to get the actual size of frames. I can do that, but I'll rather prefer to bring in another frame, place it directly here. This is a long Google, don't just mind me. Then extend it. The other method I can use is, since I know the height of this frame 1117, I can just select this and do plus 1117. Right. So I'm going to remove this and we have this extended. So we're going to be doing how it works. I'm just going to duplicate what we currently have here and place it here. Don't forget to check the spacing. Spacing is looking quite a lot here. Mm, okay, then I'm going to adjust the text, how it works. How it works. All right, so what we have to work on next is this. Okay, this section is going to be interesting. This is how it looks like on the main website. So we are creating this. How are we going to go about this? How I will go about this is to, okay, I need my grid now. Turn it on. We have three sections. So I'm going to draw a rectangle first. I'm not sure about the height to use now. So I'm going to use 200. Let's stick with this for now. Then Let's do this. That this is how it looks, right? Then I'm going to add radius here, and here. Let's just use 10. Should we use 10? Let me see 16. 16 is covering too much. Let me see 8. So I'm just going to stick with 8 and remove the fill and add our stroke because it's a stroke. Awesome. But now, okay, let me remove the stroke for now. I have reason for doing that. That's what I want to do. So now you will see that this has this thing that looks like triangle head, and there are different ways I can go about this. I can just draw a straight rectangle to the head, then do a line here, a line here, a line here, a line here. But that won't really give it a good structure. So I'm going to draw a rectangle here and combine this with it. So polygon, draw, let's look at the polygon, a triangle, turn it, and I'm going to use minus 90 degree. Then I'm going to place this here so it stays. I would have used the height of this 200 for it to be 200, but you will see that this has this space in here, so it's not going to give it exactly that height. So I'm just going to have to place it here and use my eye to make sure it's aligned properly. Great. So our triangle is two pointed. So I'm going to reduce it till it has that flat look. Is it better this way? I think we can work with this. I think we can work with this. Let's just reduce it a bit and make sure it's sitting properly. All right, so I'm going to select both of them together and use union selection. Then I'm going to remove the fill and add a stroke. So you will see that we are gradually getting that shape. Gradually change the color. Now I'm going to put in our text request project needs inside. Make it bold. Place it in the center as usual, as normal. It can't stay in the center because it is our shape. So the next thing is to draw this numbering that is inside the circle. And we've been doing that in this our buttons, but this is like a perfect circle. So I'm going to do that sharply. So I'm going to draw our circle sharply and I'm going to use 80 for height and width. Make it white like we have it there. What else do I need? Okay, it's duplicate and the background is black. But then it's not placed this way. Adjust the placing. Perfect. Then I'm going to place our text one numbering one. Adjust the The font size, I'm going to use 32. Change it to black because we have it bold. 32 is looking quite small, sha. But let's see. Let's see what we have here. Let me use 40. Okay, I think 40 is a good is a good size. So I'm going to group everything together. Group selection. Hmm. Group. Then I'm going to place it. It's not that simple. Just going to use my eye to place it properly. Okay. I think it's a good time to remove this grid. Right. So we have the first one sitting pretty. So now I'm going to group everything together. Sorry, I want to do something very quick. I want to change the background of this so you can see our design well. Okay, this is better. Right, so I'm going to group everything we just did now. Group selection. So I'm going to duplicate Control D, Command D. So what I'm doing currently is to add fill to this. I didn't add fill before and it's needed because we are going to be throwing one at the back of the other. So it won't be showing on themselves. We need to do that. See? So I'm going to place this properly and move this. Okay. So we have the second one now, and the text is give us all instructions. Number two, give us all instructions. Give us all instructions. Okay, so I'm going to place it here properly and number this two. So our number three now, same, duplicate, send it to the back so it stays under where it belongs. Then bring it. See, if it comes outside too much, you will see this curve here showing, and this is not how it's meant to look. So that's why I'm putting it at the back and then moving it inside. We have that straight line like that. So I'm going to name this number three and change the text to what we have. Get it back within 2 business days. Great. Then adjust it to how we have it. All right. So place this on the center. It's not staying at the center. All right. So we can move with this with what we have currently. Right. Okay, so the next thing that we have is this black background that's at the back of everything. But firstly, I'm going to like select these three together and group. I'm grouping so when I'm moving one, it doesn't move So everything is sitting well. So going to use the length of this 1409. And I'm not just, I didn't just get the number because if you turn on our grid, you see that it's starting at our grid and it's ending at our grid. I'm going to change the radius to 8, change the background to that background, then send it back because it's at the back. Then I'm going to place it properly. Okay, so now you will see that the height is quite higher than what we are meant to have. So I'm just going to do the adjustments that I need to do. Okay, it's not meant to have this black here. All right. Okay, so I'm going to reduce this. So it just looks like, So you see now that the black space here is quite a lot compared to what we have here. So what I can do is to increase the size of this, but I'm just going to leave it like this. But you understand what I mean. When you're working on your own, you can adjust till you have that perfect length. Right. So I'm just going to leave it like this. Let me hide my grid. Awesome. So now I'm going to do this button. Done. And since I already have something like this, I'm just going to copy and change what I have. So the top is meant to be our pink, not the text, not the text. And then the background is meant to be our whites. And the background has a stroke. So we have to find, okay, this is it. Then the pink also has a stroke. Oh, I just changed the pink to white. All right. So what else do we need to change here? The text. We need to change the text to done. So we now have to adjust the size of this back and the. But I think this done is okay. It's quite the same size. It's just that this our white circle is meant to come out a bit more. I'm going to adjust that. 6 6. I'm going to put it 8 8 8 8. Oops. 7 and 8. Okay. Awesome. Tell me it's in a group. Great. So I'm going to place our done here in the center. Oops, it's not in the center. Oh. Okay. So I'm going to just select everything together. This background and this and group. Now we have how it works. Let's see how it looks on our prototype. Loading. So this is the original design, the main design. You see the link curve.ik, and this is our design, our redesign, our replicate design. Let's see that section we just created. How it works section. Awesome. This is so great. All right. So this is where we are now. Can scroll past this. It looks like the original design, right? All right. So this is the original design. Oh my god, so this I can't pick the difference. Okay, the difference is that our black background is extra long, but you understand how it's ended up like that. Right, so our next section is whatever it may be, you got it. Let's go back to our design file. So, like I said, the frame height of what we're using is 1117. So instead of extending this or doing the first one I did, I'm just going to do plus 1117 and it extends. Yeah. So what we're working on now is whatever it may be, you got it. Since it's the same size we're using for this, I'll just duplicate this down and then I'll edit our text now. You got it, really, really. Seems the text we're using is quite no, okay. It's because it's this frame is quite smaller, right? All right. So back to the business of the day. Let's use this spacing. All right. So we use this spacing. I think this is fair enough, right? So next we will be designing this section, logo illustration and landing. So I'm going to go on and turn on my grid by pressing shift and G. Then I'll just go ahead and draw a box. So I'm going to use my grid to measure. This box I'm drawing now is the one at the back. That's the black. And I'm doing that first so that okay, no, don't let me do that first. Let me do the white one first. I'll do the white one first and just leave a little space for the black. I'm just going to leave the color like this so I can see what I'm doing. Now I'm doing the black. Okay, so I want to check the spacing now. 17. I think I'll just leave it as 16. Yeah, perfect. So I'm going to hold this to and make sure the black stops at our grid line. Then I'll extend the front one to the edge. I hope you understand what I am doing. Then I'm going to bring this down and make sure it's also 16. Yeah, so you see 16, 16, right? Then I'm going to change this color to white. Perfect. Yeah, we see that this has a stroke, so I'm going to add a stroke line. Amazing. Amazing. Let me make it two. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put our text. So I'm going to do what I did earlier. I'm going to just since this and this is an image, I'm going to copy the image and bring it in. So let me just quickly do that. So select copy image and paste here. Right, so I'll be using it here. Then let me bring in my text logo LOG. I'm going to reduce the font to 24. Okay, 24 is too small. Let's see. Okay, let's see 48. 48 is quite okay. Then I'm going to set it properly. Let's start at 40. I think 40 is a fair number. Right. So I'm going to let this start at 42 and check the spacing, making sure it's 24. So I'm going to extend this image. So we have 40 left and right. It's on 39 currently. I'm going to reduce it a bit. I can just easily adjust it from here, right? I can like easily adjust it from this section. All right, so I think we can work with this. So now I'm going to bring in this text, single artwork, and I'm just going to go to the website and copy this text. Yeah, just to save time. Then I'm going to paste it here, change the text to Lato, reduce the size to 24, and add that dot. Yeah, I'm also going to change the width to medium and use this line list spacing. Let's try it to see how it looks like. I think it is great, but the test is quite big. So I'm going to reduce the test to 16. 16 is quite small. So I'm going to use 18. I think 18 is a perfect size. Then I'm going to align all this and make sure it's at what we've been using. Right. So the next is to do our button. We already have this button everywhere. So I'm just going to copy this. Copy. Then come here and paste it. And the button color is the text is getting design and the button is purple. That's this purple here. So I'm just going to pick the color and change it to get a design. Right. Going to check that and make sure it's placed properly. All right, so this works. What else is there? Okay, let me check the spacing first. Mhm. Okay, that is okay. Then for I'm just going to use a dollar sign here for the dollar 79. All right, so the amount is quite thicker than the 4. So I'm going to adjust that and use oops, 24. 24. Amazing. Amazing, 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 amazing. All right. Think we can work with this group selection. Then set this. You can see I'm always like, okay, so to check these lines and everything, I usually hold down option and then see it. That's on Mac. Windows 2, I think it's option. Right. So I select this and just align. Now you see I have like excess space here. So I'm just going to take this up. See, I can take it up a bit height. 546, 546. Great. So I'm going to take this to 546 too. All right. So then I'm going to select everything together and group. We're done with that part. Yeah, so I'm just going to duplicate and duplicate because it's three that's there, right? Yeah. I did. If I turn on my grid, you see that they all like start on the lines assigned to them. See, see. Yeah, so I'm just going to change the text to illustration and landing. Landing. All right. Then I'm going to get the pictures for the different sections. So you can also create this from scratch, but like I said, I'm just trying to work on this as fast as I can. Oh, sorry. I went to do paste to replace paste here. All right. So this is the width is 347. So I'm going to make my width 347. 347. And the height is 141. 347 141. For our height is, let me just do this. So 141. All right. So I'm just going to cut Ctrl X and paste to replace. Cut Command X, sorry, and paste to replace. Amazing. So next is to change the color of this to the background using my picker tool, and also change the color of this to green. Amazing. Then I think the next thing is just to change the amount 99 and 289. So another thing that I can do is, you see that if I had something to this number, it shifts towards the side. But what if I don't want it to shift towards the side? Right? I will select whatever we have here. Then I'm going to, let me do that. Okay. So I'm just going to change the number to 99 and make sure it still stays same way I want to state. And 289. Okay, great. So next up, wow. This is amazing. So I'm going to group everything together. Then I think the spacing between this and this is too small. So let me use 160. Then use 80. Let me see how 80 looks. Okay, amazing. So next up is our you need a longer term design support. Right. So the width of this is 1409. Hmm. So yeah, so what we're doing next is this footer. You need a longer term design support. So I'm just going to copy this text and paste it here just for serial purpose. Right. So I'm going to come here and draw our frame, add our color. It's a dark background. So we're going to use our tool, use our radius to 16. Then the width is 1409. Place it at the center. Okay, it's one for, okay. 1408. Do you know what I'm doing? I'm trying to make sure that it has the margin that we created at the beginning, 160, 160, right? Yeah. So I'm going to check this. One check if the space is good. Spacing is quite small. All right, so I'm going to bring in our text again, change it to white, and copy what we want to place there and just paste it. Oops. I will need to edit that. All right, so Ubuntu, that's what we're using, bold, and let's reduce the size to 48. Great. Then check the spacing I used here, 80. And okay, what I should have done, right, is just let me just copy this. Let me just copy this. Then I'm going to align this to the left by just selecting both of them and using our align left. Then I'm going to copy this again, Control C, and paste it here. Then our other text is look at your subscription plan. So I'll just copy this and paste it here. I'm going to just remove this one, bring this in and change it to white. Then I'm going to reduce this back to 48. That's what we used earlier. Yeah. Then going to add our auto layout and adjust this PC. Yeah, I didn't check the height of this when I created it, right? So let's use height of let's check 240. Yeah, I think 240 is great. So let's put this at the center and make sure it starts at the spacing of 80. Great. So next up is our button, subscription plans. So I'm just going to copy a button that we designed and paste it here. Then I'm going to change the pink color to our background color and the black color to our pink color. Is this how it is? Okay, yeah. Then the text color is going to be our two. Right, then we have to extend this subscription. Now putting our text subscription plans. Then this is the time we extend it. All right. Always check your spacing. Just always check your spacing. Great. So I think that's that. We are done with that. So now let's check to make sure this is 80. The spacing has to be the same. This is currently showing 60. Seems like I'm going to reduce that other edge to 64. 62. Because okay, let me try 80 and see how 80 looks. Oh, okay. It is a great one. All right, so we have that. Great. So lastly is okay, this section is not meant to show. So let's see what's on the main design. We have our footer. About footer, so we have the logo, landing logos, and illustration, themes and condition and icons. So I'm just going to copy what we have initially and adjust it. Let's go back to our design file. Okay. All right. We are here. So I'm just going to copy this, Control C, and paste it here. All right. It's pasted there. Let's bring it. Oh, what just happened? Why? Okay, the frame is not inside our design. So one thing I want you guys to really take note of is let me bring this frame up. Everything you're designing, remember the frame you created in the first place. Everything you're designing, make sure it stays inside that frame. If not, it won't show on your prototype and it won't just show properly. So right, this is what we have now. Let me adjust the spacing. So you will see that in total we use three frames for our design, like three screen frame. You understand what I mean? Yeah, so I'm going to adjust this because according to our main design, you see that it's at the edge here. Then our terms and conditions and Twitter and Instagrams at the other end. So I'm going to move this here. Let's see how this looks. All right, so I'm just going to move this to where our grid line starts for proper alignment, right? So since we're not using this anymore, I'm just going to take it out and bring in one of this. What text do we have there? Terms and condition. All right. Terms and conditions. Then Twitter and Instagram icon. I'm going to use our feather icons again. Run it. So I need Twitter and Instagram icon. I'm just going to search for Twitter. Amazing. We have it here now. And Instagram. Amazing. Okay, so I'm going to close it back and just place it here. Yeah, I'm just trying to align what I have. Okay, so let's see how it looks again at the edge, spacing, terms and condition. So let's use the spacing is quite a lot on the design, on the main design, right? So just going to make sure we have that look. Okay, let's use 40. All right, great. So terms and condition from this also. Let's just use 48. Amazing. So we have our design ready. Let's check it on the prototype. Let's check it on the prototype. Okay. So ignore that this frame is kind of like moving because when I started, I told you that I was going to use 16 um MacBook Pro 16 because it's quite bigger than my laptop screen and 14 was quite smaller. So this is our design. Can you notice? Can you see the difference? Can you see that the difference is not quite much? It looks like the main application. Now let me show you the main website. This is the main website. Sure you can. Okay, so the only difference currently now is that I did really add this and this. You can add that in your own design. I'm just going to keep it. So now you see that it's actually design because now you're thinking I copied the design was C and C. Amazing. You did this with me. Oh. We did it together and C. Right. So thank you for attending this design practice with me. So this is the main design and this is our replica. Our replica. Yeah, we are done. All right. So thank you so much for watching me redesign this website. If you enjoyed this video, drop your comment below. And if you are going to try this design also, drop your you can just gist me about how it went if you work on it, right? So don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to like this video, share, and subscribe to my channel. All right, see you in my next video. Bye.